Hello Lavecon. Now it's time for my reading. I'm going to be reading from my military science fiction and space opera novel, Fearless. Now this is published by Flametree Press and is due out in September. This novel's quite a different style for me. It's not really written in the same style of some of the stuff I've done before. It's written in a similar style to the Phoenix Point briefing short stories that we put together during 2018 and 2019, but it's a complete novel of that. It tells the story of Captain Shan and her crew. Ellisa Shann runs a spaceship called the Khidr. It's essentially a rescue ship that patrols the solar system, looking to try and make sure that freighters and other corporation ships stay out of trouble. And they get a distress call, so it'll be quite interesting to see how they cope with that. I'm going to be reading chapter 1, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So sit in, get comfortable, and have a good listen. Winifred is deciding that she's going to sit on my lap. Okay, enjoy. Chapter 1, Shan. I was born in 2080 with no legs. Perhaps that gives you an image of me, an image that defines who I am to you as a person. Maybe you get a sense of who someone is by their limitations. Do you think who we are is determined by what we look like? What we can do, or what we don't have? The world doesn't work that way anymore. Captain to the bridge, on my way. I open my eyes and reach up, grasping the steel bar above my head. The straps holding me to the mattress fall away, and I float across the room to the door, which slides back with a faint hydraulic hiss as I reach it. In the corridor, I'm gliding, pushing off with my hands and adjusting my momentum as and when I need to. Zero gravity is like flying, but it's easy to forget there's not a lot to slow you down before you crash into a wall or a person. I love it. My earliest memories as a child were being taken to a municipal swimming pool. I must have been 4 or 5. For the first time I could move freely and as fast or faster than anyone else. I can remember laughing and smiling constantly until my face hurt. Captain Ellisa Shann to the bridge. Priority 1. Captain Ellisa Shann. I'm coming! The wall speakers won't quit repeating the call until I get there. There's good reason. The ship's crew will know I'm taking this route, that it's urgent, and that they're to stay out of my way. I reach the far end, slowing myself by running my hand along the wall rails. There's a ladder to the upper deck, and I propel myself that way, grabbing the rungs and pulling myself upward. Although in space it isn't really up, it's just a change of direction. AD 2118. Humanity has colonised the Moon, Mars, Ceres and Europa. Asteroid mining is big business and the new joint venture of nations, corporations and entrepreneurs. No government can afford the investment alone, so private-public partnerships are the route to the stars. Out here, people are commodities, just like water, hydrogen fuel, oxygen and everything else that isn't vacuum. Humans in space are expensive. Everyone who gets up here has to earn their keep. In Fleet, we're all specialists, exceptionally skilled and committed to the work. There's plenty of downsides to this life, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Another panel slides back and I've reached my destination. Captain on the bridge. This is my office, a wide room with a wall of gyroglass that slopes away to reveal the cold, dark vacuum outside. The ship's command crew are all here, at their posts, strapped into their chairs. You never get used to that view. It's not like the old films with a vista of stars and cloud-like nebula. Those twinkling pinpricks of light disappear under the glare of the sun. Instead, you're looking at a deep, endless empty, unless something gets in the way of our star's dictatorial scrutiny. In those moments, the stars come out to play, and looking out the window is a real treat. The ribbon-like quality of the Milky Way, like a churning line of clouds in the night sky, is something you can only see from space. One for the tourists, but not for us. I've learned to love the emptiness. There's something serene and permanent about it. Occasionally, when we're at the farthest end of our run, the two views mix, and you might catch glimpses of silver powder, a little like seeing the moon on a cold winter's morning. Jacobson is looking at me. He's turned in his chair. He's half out of the straps, his hand raised in salute. He's big-boned, Swedish, and in his mid-20s, and on his first run. According to his astromathematics score, we lucked out in getting him, but he's still wet behind the ears. At ease, Ensign. Just tell me what we've got. Automated distress call from the freighter just outside our navigation plot. It's the Hercules. She's 3 days out from Phobos Station. Any details? Not at the moment, but we're the nearest ship equipped to assist. Okay. Have you calculated a course correction? Looking at it now. Good. When you're done, signal them that we're on our way. This is how we work. Most of our time is spent moving between spaces, operating computer systems, making decisions. Each time we choose, we're balancing the limited resources we have against a new need. In this case, a course alteration means a burn, using up fuel. A delay in making port at Ceres means breathing more oxygen, consuming more water and food. But that's part of the job. Part of the reason there's a solar system transit service. The whole reason we're out here. To help. In the maritime age, there were wars on the high seas. Merchant ships would struggle across the Atlantic with their wares, evading pirates, storms and all manner of hazards. Traders would invest in their cargo, gambling everything on the chance of making a fortune. Out here, it's the same but different. The dangers have changed. Our technology has improved to cope, but we're no less vulnerable. Computation is done, Captain. Send the message. Aye, aye. Our ship, the Khidr, was commissioned by the United Fleet Consortium of Earth, or Fleet to everyone who didn't design the plaque. There's 6 vessels like ours, patrolling the trade lanes, too few to make space safe, but enough to make a difference. On board we have 25 skilled crew, including the command team. We can operate the ship in 2 shifts, with some redundancy in personnel and capacity. If we need to help someone, we may have to leave people on their ship, or rescue stranded crew onto ours. Our job means we carry extra, just in case. We're also armed. Personal firearms are kept in 2 arms lockers, whilst guided rockets and gas-powered projectile weapons are available for our use if necessary. There's even a close-range 6-gigawatt laser. All the ship's weapons are the responsibility of Keho, our master-at-arms, who's currently sitting on the far side of the bridge. Duggins and Lagar make up the rest of the team on shift in here. 4-man consoles for navigation, communication, weapons, sensors, pilot, and engineering. The 5th seat is empty. That's mine. I push myself off from the door frame and glide towards it. What else you got for me? I ask. You wouldn't have called me up here just for a distress call and course correction. Lagar turns around in her chair. Her smile is a challenge. She's French, old-school Eurospace, and a major in her country's Air Force, Major Angel Lagar. Technically, that's a higher rank than mine, but she doesn't have the same out-of-Earth's atmosphere experience. Could be she's after my job. But for now, she's our pilot. Captain, we've requested the Hercules cargo. Her registered inventory has just come through. What's the issue? I think you should take a look for yourself. Okay. Send it to my console with flags. I pull myself into the vacant chair. I pluck the comms bead from my ear and tuck it into a pocket. The command screen on the tray table activates and strapping snakes out, enveloping me as I lower myself into the seat. Every workstation is constructed to hold people in place, to protect our bodies against acceleration and deceleration. But we aren't solid objects, we're fleshy bags of liquid that rushes and slops around. The forces need to be absorbed. That's why there's give in the straps, pressure-sensitive cushioning on the seats, and more. There are trays for limbs and torso that lock down when we're pulling high Gs. The only difference with me is that I have fewer limbs than some other people. I could have legs. There are cybernetic suits on board the ship for me to use when I need to be in a gravity environment. Medical technology on Earth can even grow matching DNA transplant limbs and organs should anyone need them. But there's a catch. The instability threshold that they discovered back in the 20th century hasn't been conquered. Legs for 5 years that slowly degrade and create a whole new set of disease risks? No thanks. I mean, I can see why other people might want that, but up here there's no practical need. Going through all the surgical stress and post-op stuff for something that has no ambulatory benefit in my day-to-day life up here isn't something that appeals to me. The file is in front of me now, on a portable screen. I settle into the seat. Lagar has highlighted the relevant sections. I scroll through them, making a mental note of each anomaly. Why is so much of this blanked out? That's what I wanted to discuss with you, Lagar says in her soft, accented voice. Her face appears on my screen alongside the report. Dark hair, dark eyes, a little half smile, and a microphone bead just under her lip. I clip in my headphones and hear her words live over the feed. It's unusual. Yes, very unusual. Freighters like the Hercules are run by corporate government partnerships. Many stations and colonies rely on water and oxygen restock, with the freighters shipping raw materials back the other way. That's normal business. Cargoes have to be registered, approved and made public. But certain items can get clearance above our grade. When that happens, the itinerary fills up with consortium-sanctioned granted labels, which generally make our life difficult. Jacobson, notify Phobos Station that we need a full manifest, not this piece of shit. If anything on that ship is a possible hazard, I need to know about it. That'll take more than an hour, Captain, Jacobson says. Should we hold off making the course correction? No. We signal the crew and we make the manoeuvre. We do the job either way. But any more information we can get will help. Aye, aye. Jacobson's calculated course is streaming onto my console. The auto-navigation system has verified his numbers, so we're ready for the burn. Lagar will initiate the manoeuvre, firing our thrusters in sequence. What's the damage to our reserves, I ask. 8% of total fuel, Duggins replies. His first name is Ethan, and he's a gruff Texan, a fifth-generation driller born in oilfield country after the oil ran out. 80 years of dry wells and no jobs broke the United States back in the 2080s. Now there's 3 countries, one of them based in his home state. We'll add 4 days to our journey, provided we're still making for port at Ceres. We are, I reply. That's what Jacobson's calculation states. We're stocked for the extra time? Yes, we'll cope, Duggins says. According to the schematic, the Hercules has 8 crew. We can accommodate them too if we have to. I hope it won't come to that. Yeah, me too. Jacobson activates the shipwide comms. Attention all hands. Prepare for course correction burn in 3 minutes. Calculated force is 5 gravities. Strap yourselves in. The automated voice takes up the message, repeating Jacobson's request. I pull up the desk cameras and sweep through the different rooms. Kehoe and Duggins will be doing the same while Lagar and Jacobson concentrate on the manoeuvre. We have to make sure everyone is secure before we initiate the burn. Bring down the shutters. Yes, ma'am, Jacobson replies. The blackness disappears behind metal plates. I can feel the engines spinning up, ready to initiate the manoeuvre. I tense instinctively and have to consciously relax, taking a breath or two before placing my arms in the runners. More force-sensitive straps and magnets deploy, fixing me in place. All decks clear, Captain. Kehoe's Japanese voice has a sing-song quality to it that contrasts with the building hum of the ship. All crew checked in. Initiate burn, I order. Aye, aye. There's a rumble, and I'm pressed into my seat. We're on the move. The Khidr has been in service 6 years. I've been in command of her for 3. Our run is a repeated patrol. Repair and refit at Earth's aging International Space Station, then push out to Apollo, the lunar orbital platforms, a couple of days resupply, then on to Mars and Phobos before heading out to Ceres and the Belt. Our belt course varies, as the mining stations are mobile, so we plot a different route every time. Every run takes just over 6 months. Each time we visit an outpost, things have changed. It's great to see the progress people make. Out here there's a unified sense of purpose to make things work, to tame the harsh environments we've chosen to live in. The investment to set all this up has been enormous, but necessary. All Earthers should see what's being done up here. Maybe that'd stop them squabbling. There's a price to pay for living in space. Your body changes. You have to take care of what you can and manage what you can't. Muscle mass quickly goes if you don't exercise, and your eyesight degrades with protracted time in zero gravity. The Khidr has a rotational section that's locked down when we're accelerating. It's a vertical torus that surrounds the middle of the ship. Access is through a central shaft in which you gradually start to feel the weight of your body. For me, that's a gathering sense of disappointment. Once you're out of the elevator, the torus is divided into 4 spaces: gym, lounge, meeting room and science medical. The generated gravity in there is about 0.7 of Earth's. We all spend time in there. I don't like it, but the others do. It's a regular social space, the nearest many of them have to a home away from home. The only other time we feel an equivalent gravitational force is at times like this, during a burn. 5Gs is about the same stress as one of those roller coasters people used to ride. People would go on them for fun, shouting and screaming as they flew around loops and bends. Out here, our softer bodies don't take the same stress so easily. Living without the constant presence of the gravity that shaped us causes them to change. We have to exercise to maintain our resilience, or otherwise we can't endure the gravitational force when we need to manoeuvre. Our bodies shut down and we black out. As the ship changes position, the chair rotates. A human being can withstand more horizontal force than vertical, so I'm pivoted to best cope. It doesn't stop everything going grey and blurry. I'm grinding my teeth under the strain. I can barely breathe. I want to move my arms, hug myself into a ball, but I can't. I know the reaction is instinctive and wouldn't help, but it doesn't stop that I burn complete, the ship's automated voice announces, and I feel the press on my body ease. The course correction and acceleration are done. We're aiming for the last recorded position of the Hercules. There'll be further adjustments, but those won't require the same exertion until we need to slow down. There's a red light flashing on my screen. I blink a few times. My vision clears, and I read the warning. The words make me cold inside. We've got organic contamination in corridor 6. Looks like someone wasn't locked down. Cameras are out. It'll take a few minutes for a team to check, Duggan says. We've still got systems offline on all decks. As soon as you can, please. It takes time for everyone to recover from the aftermath of 5 gravities. Jacobson's doing better than me. His recent time on Earth means he's still got the resistance, but now he's double-checking his math and recalibrating our position. Course correction checks out, Captain. We're exactly where we want to be. Good. I'm unstrapping myself from the chair. When that's done, I push off towards the door. Doug, get a team to meet me in corridor 6. Aye, aye. Okay, chapter 1 of Fearless. If it's something that you like, go take a look at the Flame Tree Press website. We'll provide some links for you in all of the descriptions and everything for the event. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of the content, enjoy the rest of the weekend, and talk to you soon.